Welcome, guys. My name is Fadare Ayola. Today on our statistics, we'll be learning rank correlation, or what some other people call Spearman's rank correlation. Thank you for hanging out with me on my channel, and I will try as much as possible to give my best. Now, based on this topic, we'll be learning how to rank some solutions, and you can, first of all, if you are joining this channel for the first time, subscribe, or you can get in touch with me via my email. That's ffadar, that's fadare@gmail. Or if you reside in Nigeria, then you can contact me via phone. So without much ado, let's dive into rank correlation. Now, I've quickly written a formula down. Since I'm targeting business class or commercial class students, I won't be going into how the formula is being derived, but I'll just want you guys to understand the meaning of this formula first before we attempt to treat a question. Don't be too scared, because majority of you out there have probably failed this course more than once or twice, and you are scared of doing it again. Statistics or mathematics shouldn't be something you should be afraid of. It is something that you should grow with. So what I mean is that with consistent practice and familiarity with statistics, it's just within a short couple of time before you grow into it. I'm telling you sincerely with experience. Now there's a formula. You see this formula, that's R equals 1 minus 6 summation d squared all over n. Then we have a bracket, opening bracket, n squared minus 1, then we close it by the bracket. Then there's another formula which is the same as the first formula. There's really no difference, except that we just went a little further to shorten the numbers of objects on this formula. It's still the same 1 minus 6 summation d squared all over n raised to power 3, that's n cubed, minus n. You'll be wondering how I got n raised to power 3 minus n. It's just from this formula. When you multiply n outside the bracket with n squared, which is in the bracket, it gives us n raised to power 3. The same n here, when you multiply it by minus 1, gives us minus n. So either of these two formulas will actually do the trick for you. They actually do the same thing. So don't get too scared, just get familiar with it. Now, what the jargons we've just seen, what does it imply? Now, D simply means, obviously, the difference in each pair of rank. By the time we dive into the question, you will understand what it means when we say the difference in each pair of rank. And R here stands for rank also. Now N, and if you've been following my channel, you should know by now what N will stand for. N stands for number of objects being ranked, or number of items, or number of objects or items. So R, as I said earlier, R stands for ranking. Then we say if R is equals to +1, it means that the equation has a perfect agreement. And if R is also equals to -1, it also has a perfect disagreement. So now let's treat this question so that I'll be able to somehow dazzle some tensions here. Now we have a question saying that if two judges P, Judge P and Judge Q ranked 10 contestants in a beauty sorry about my handwriting contest. So this is the table now. So if two judges Judge P and Judge Q rank 10 contestants in a beauty pageant. So now these are the contestants. Now we have contestant H, contestant I, contestant J, contestant K, contestant L, contestant M, contestant N, contestant O, contestant P, and contestant Q. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. All these guys are contestants. Don't blame them. So what next? I'm still on the question. Now we say the ranking by Judge P and the rank by Judge Q. Note they have already ranked them in a table. So this is the result of ranking each individual contestant. So it might not even be ranking, it can even be grading or assessment. But all we just need is the figures within the rank. So we have 4 here, 3 here, 2 here, 4 here, 5, 2, we have 6, 8, 1, 1, we have 8, 9, 3, 5, 7, 6, 10, 10, and 9, 7. Don't be too in a hurry. If you have any confusion, you can easily pause the video, rewind, and go through it all over again. So this is the question, and the question says we should obtain the Spearman correlation coefficient for the data. Obtain the Spearman correlation coefficient for the data. Now, the first thing when you are solving any statistical problem is to first of all take note of the formula, which I showed us earlier. By the time you see the formula, then the process of approaching it will now be easier for you to determine. What am I saying? If, for instance, this formula is now R equals 1 minus 6 summation D squared over n squared minus 1. That is our formula. So already we have a formula. I want to stick with this particular formula though. So you now see we have a 1, we have minus, we have 6, we have summation, we have D squared, then we have n, and we have n in bracket n squared minus 1. So the first thing that should come to our mind is already we know D here is the difference in pairs of rank. Difference in pairs of rank. So when we say difference in pairs of rank, it means all the contestants that were ranked by each of those judges. We will now need to take the difference in the result from each of those judges. Then n is the number of contestants in the question. But don't let me bore us too much. Let's go straight to the solution. So we say solution. This is our solution. I'll draw the table again, but this time around the table will now contain more items, contestants. Now we have contestant H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. That one we understand that. Now let's go back to the ranking of each of those judges. Now you'll see something unique now. Now Judge P. Judge P, just a rank. Judge P. Now since Judge P comes first, we'll give it a symbol of the x-axis, or we'll just title it X. That's Judge PX now. We tag it as X. Now what are the items there? We have 4, 2, 5, 6, 1, 8, 3, 7, 10, 9. Then the next judge, Judge Q, rank Q, and this will be my Y. My Y is giving me 3, 4, 2, 8, 1, 9, 5, 6, 10, 7. That is what it's there. Take your time, go through it all over again and watch. Now we are talking of D. Remember we mentioned this D earlier. D is the difference in the ranking values in this particular question. So how are we going to get our D? D here is, I would have said P minus Q, which is still the same thing, but just to make it a little bit clearer, I will now say X minus Y. So if you put P, Q here, you have not done anything wrong, sincerely. Please take note of that. Now, X minus Y, or P minus Q, will give us 1. 4 minus 3, 1. Here, 2 minus 4 give us minus 2. 5 minus 2 will give us 3. 6 minus 8 give us minus 2. 1 strikes out 1, 0. 8 minus 9 gives us minus 1. 3 minus 5 gives me minus 2. 7 minus 6 gives me 1. 10 minus 10 gives me 0. And 9 minus 7 gives me 2. Now that's for the difference. So for the D squared now, everything raised to power 2. D squared now, everything raised to the power of 2. So if 1 is raised to the power of 2 gives us 1. Minus 2 raised to the power of 2 makes it positive. Then that will be now 4. 3 raised to the power of 2. That's 3 times 3 gives us 9. Minus 2, obviously, this gives us 4. 0, that's 0. Minus 1 becomes positive. Minus 2 becomes positive, that's 4. 1 is 1, 0 is 0. 2 raised to the power 2 will give us 4. Am I too fast? Okay, so you just look at it again from here. X minus Y, or P minus Q. This is 1 minus this. Once you say 4 minus 3 gives us 1. 2 minus 4 gives us minus 2. Just do it like that till you get to this point. Once you get this value, then the next step, based on the formula D raised to power 2, you will now raise them to the power of 2, and most of the negative values here will now become positive numbers. So now let's activate the formula. Now we all know what our formula says. So we have 1 here, 1 minus, now 6. As I told you, just understand the formula. If this was a pure science statistics class or a pure mathematics class, obviously we will go through the rigor of deriving how the formula came into reality. But this is more of a business class, so all you just need to know is how the application of the formula works with your business. Now we have 1 minus 6. So the 6, I know you'll be wondering how the 6 came to being, but right now just ignore it. Now summation of D squared. So what we are going to do now is, here, total of all this, you can bring out your calculator here. Let me on my calculator. So now total of D squared, we have 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 4 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4 gives us 28. So here everything is 28. The total of D squared is 28. So now 6 will now multiply by 28 over n. What is n? How many values do we have here? Or how many contestants are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 contestants. So this 10, with the 10 raised to power 2 inside the bracket, minus 1, are we okay? Take your time. Okay, so now this now becomes 1 minus 6 multiplied by 28. So we have our 28 here already. Now say multiplied by 6 gives us 168. So this gives me 168 over, now 10 raised to power 2. Obviously, 10 raised to the power of 2 gives me an 100. So we have something like this. So the 10 out there, that's 100 minus 1. As you can see, this now becomes 1 minus 168 over, now 100 minus 1 will give us 99. 99 multiplied by 10 will give us 990. 990. So you can either use your LCM to work this out, or you can work it out directly, because 1 minus, let's go to 168 divided by 990 will give me something related to 0.169969696. Everything still goes to 9696, but I'll shorten it here. So let me just say, on my own I'll say 7, because it still goes to 9696. So let's say 0.169697. So now 1 minus 0.169697, and I have here 0.830. So this is 0.830. So you can just say, you can approximate as 0.83 or 0.8, depending on where you want to approximate it to. But as you can see, this is our answer. Oh, so that I won't confuse people here, you won't think this is over. So you can just say 0.83. That is it for this ranking. So let's go to the next question. In the next couple of minutes now, we'll treat another aspect of ranking. So we have another question here. Now the difference between this question and the one we did earlier is that the earlier question, we were already given the results by the judges. That's the rank results, or we can say observation from the judges. But here, this question, we will on our own determine the ranking first before we can proceed with the formula. So here is where the marks are not given, or the ranking, where the results or the marks or the observations are not given. We are only given the ranks. So the question is, the following are the marks obtained by 5 students. So these are the marks obtained by 5 students in mathematics X and accounts Y. Determine the rank correlation coefficient for the data. Here, the marks are not given in ranks. So the marks are not given in rank. so you will need to do the ranking yourself. So here is x, y. So we see our x here. X is 11, 12, 13, 15, 19. Y is 16, 12, 14, 20, 18. Now, this is how to go about it. I told you earlier that when you see something like when you are working a statistics problem with a formula, first of all, write the formula somewhere where you can see it. It will now give you that edge on how to go about the solution. So I'll quickly write the formula here: 6 summation d squared over n squared minus 1. So I've written the formula, I'm seeing it, so now I can think deeply. Now the next thing we are going to now do is we'll create the solution. Let's create a table, table X. This time I'm doing it in vertical. Then we'll say rank X, rank Y. You know how I came about my X and Y. So you can also say it's also rank X, but now in smaller letters, lower cases. Now we have our D, which you can see here. That's the reason why, the main reason I say you need to write down the formula first. It gives you an advantage of thinking. Yeah, so D is x minus y, which we all know, then our D squared. So now that we've done this, all you just need to do is first of all write out the results of x and y. X is 11, 12, 13, 15, 15, and 19. Now let's write the value of y. Y is 16, 12, 14, 20, and 18. We've written that. Now, rank x. What we are going to now do is we look at the value of x here, and we'll rank them according to their sizes, or according to the value, the way the value is high or low. So if you want to, you can start from the lowest to the highest, or you can start from the highest to the lowest. Either of the two is allowed. So now we look here, 11 here, 12 here, 13, 15, 19. So obviously 11 is the lowest, 19 is the highest. So are we going to start our lowest? Should we rank from the lowest to the highest, or should we rank from the highest to the lowest? It is all about your choice, but it has to be consistent with the other guy. It must be consistent with the y value. So if I'm ranking from lowest to highest here, I must also rank from lowest to highest for y, not the other way around. And if I'm ranking from highest to lowest here, I must rank from highest to lowest here. That is how to do it, so that you'll be able to get what you want. Now I have 19. 19 is the highest, so let me give it the first prize. And how many results do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So who came first? 19. So x, I'll say 1, 15, 2, 13, 3, 12, 4, and 11, 5. So this is the 5th rank result in this category, and this is the first ranked result within this category. Now, same thing goes to y. Look at it carefully so that you won't mess things up. 16 is here, 12 is here, 14 is here, 20 is here, 18 is here. So 20 is the highest. So 20 gets 1. Which is the second highest? 18 is the second highest, gets 2. Which is the third highest? 16 is the third highest, gets 3. 12, 14 is the fourth highest, gets 4. Then 12 is the last value, which gets 5. So look at it very well right now to be sure of what we are doing. So 20 gets 1, 18 gets 2, 14, 16 gets 3, 14 gets 4, 12 gets 5. So once that is done, we now have our ranking. So we'll now look for the value of D. 5 minus 3 gives us 2. 4 minus 5 gives me minus 1. 3 minus 4 gives me minus 1. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. 1 minus 2 gives me minus 1. Hope you are following. If you are a little bit confused, all you just need to do is to pause the video, rewind, and study it as many times as possible. Nobody is chasing you right now because you have all the time in the world to practice before your next exams. And I can guarantee you that such questions like these do come out in our examinations. I've been there before, so I know what I'm talking about. The other trick is try and gather the last 4 or 5 question papers. If you can get the last 3, 4 or 5 question papers, then you'll be able to understand the pattern to which they set their exam, and you can preempt the kind of question that will be set. Within the last 3 or 4 years question paper, there will be some questions that are consistent to each other. Then there will be some questions that are very few that are not consistent. So you just juggle it around and make sure you concentrate. But the main thing is that make sure you treat all the topics in the syllabus. So now D squared, can you see from the question, D squared is 4, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, and this is 1. So summation D squared will give us 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Summation D squared. So it's now quite easy for us to now solve the equation. 1 minus 6 times 8 over n is 5. 1, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 items in the list. So 5 bracket 5 raised to power 5 is 25 minus 1. So 1 here minus 6 times 8. So we just quickly solve it immediately. 6 times 8, 48. So this is 48 over 5 multiplied by 24. So 1 minus 48 over 5 times 24, 120. 120. Now we have 1 minus 48 divided by 120 gives us 0.4. So 1 minus 0.4 will give me, so 1 minus 0.4 obviously will give us 0.6. So can you see there's really nothing so special about it? All you just need to do is to continue to practice and practice more and get familiar with the intricacies of this topic. So till the next time when I bring on that topic, it's goodbye from my own end. Bye bye.